Welcome to investingnews.com. We're speaking with Allan Ritchie from Adavale Resources. Welcome, Allan.
Yeah, good morning, John. It's great to be here.
First of all, for investors new to the story, could you take them through your strategic location at Parkes?
Yeah, for sure. Look, there's three things I want to say. Really, and the first part will be about the value proposition of that acquisition. So it was only 7 months ago we acquired the Parkes project, and it was for $900,000 all scrip deal, which is a great price, considering that on just one of our licenses, we now have our maiden JORC of 115,000 ounces. We use a higher grade cutoff there. We call it 107,000 ounces with a higher grade cutoff. But if you think about it, it's great value, as is our current share price. The other reason is it's a tier one jurisdiction. I mean, we've got great giant neighbours like Evolution North Parkes on our boundary, and Newcrest just down the road with their Cadia mine, arguably Australia's largest gold producing mine, actually. Of course, Waratah, who are doing great in their Spur project. So it's a great jurisdiction. I mean, the past production in the Lachlan Fold Belt is around 80 million ounces to date, and 13 million tonnes of copper at least as well. And the current endowment is probably 160 million ounces of gold equivalent. So it's a real tier one jurisdiction. It's a large belt. Also, the majors there's been quite a bit of activity with the majors and working with juniors. I'll tell you a bit more about that later. The third reason is you've got a very active and committed team, and that's important. So all the directors here, we take a very small fee in shares only, and we all have skin in the game, holding about 4% of the company. And yes, we buy on market and have recently taken another 150,000 in the recent placement. So we put all the money into exploration. And, we expect our rewards from the share price performance. So we're 100% investor aligned.
So now that we have the whole backstory there at Parkes, from your early exploration, what key indications have you discovered?
Sure. Okay. Well, look, I like to say, we row with two oars here. One of our oars is our brownfields future small-scale mining opportunity at London, Victoria. And on our other four licenses, we have our greenfields exploration activities where we're working hard and hope for a discovery hole like all good juniors, and maybe a few discovery holes. So that's what we do. And of course, what we're seeing is, it's highly prospective, orogenic and epithermal shallow gold mineralization. And we could well get a sniff of porphyry, which is common around that Lachlan Fold Belt and right near us. Of course, with majors such as Evolution's North Parkes and their wonderful asset, literally about 3 to 5 kilometres west of us. And of course, Alkane's Tomingley, which, we share boundaries with both Evolution and Alkane. So that gives us some great inspiration for our own work. North Parkes seem to progress their new pits easterly towards our boundary where our prospect known as Ashes and Miles are. And we're completing some geophysics there currently as a follow-up to our recent grid-based geochem survey. So, in the hopes of vectoring in for some near-term drilling soon. And what we hope will be, as I say, a potential discovery hole.
Now, Allan, investors always ask, what are the next exploration steps coming up?
Yes, of course. So after our recent assays from London, Victoria, which is our wonderful pit, it's old BHP gold pit. We recently published some great assays, some nice thick intercepts, 10 and 12 metres with, 1.5 to 2 gram per tonne grade, but also some intercepts within that, ranging from 14 gram per tonne plus, 8 grams, 6 grams. There were some really nice intercepts, which, given this was mined by BHP at a 1.5 gram per tonne, at 1.5 gram per tonne, when the gold price was below $1,000 and, even as low as $400 when BHP gold were there. Getting grades like this now, when Aussie gold's at $5,500, well, that does inspire us to continue some work where we'll extend and expand and upgrade the confidence in the London Victoria resource. With the aim of what we hope will be some low-cost, small-scale mining in the near future. But in the near term, it will include some magnetic surveys, some structural geology studies that we're doing quite soon, and then soon after that, drilling again as well. So on the other 4 licenses, we'll continue our work, of course, on the other 11 prospects that we have, with more sampling, more grid-based geochem surveys, and studies like the current IP studies and magnetics that we're continuing right now, so we can do some more near-term drilling.
Well, Allan, you did touch on the gold price there. Do you expect more M&A activity to continue within the sector?
Yeah, the gold price is exciting. And yes, look, prior to my last 15 years serving on boards of listed companies, I spent decades as an investment banker specialising in energy and resources. So I do keep my finger on the M&A pulse. And, you've got the recent activity with Anglo American and Teck, that major merger happening right now. And of course, in our jurisdiction, the recent Alkane and Mandalay merger, creating a $1.5 billion company. This is great for the Lachlan Fold Belt. But there is quite a bit of M&A activity that, as I say, will continue, and it's benefiting the juniors like us. So you see it from different shapes and sizes, like Anglo Gold have come in and backed some juniors like Kincora and Inflection Resources, which are right near us, giving 140 million or up to 140 million in farm-in funding for Inflection and 110 million for Kincora. I mean, this is great, to have giants working with juniors like that.
Adavale actually does have a broader portfolio. Could you take investors through the rest of the portfolio and I guess the next steps?
Yeah, for sure. So yes, we do. We've got our exciting uranium tenements in South Australia, which is an amazing jurisdiction, not far from Heathgate, the private company who have been producing for many years now. So just down around the Flinders Ranges, we have a low holding cost there. We do some modest activity and get ready for the next move in uranium. So it's now, what is it, pricing around $76. I think there is a shortfall in uranium supply, and we do expect, like many punters suggest, a nice rise in the uranium price. And of course, we've got our nickel in Tanzania. I mean, we were hitting some wonderful massive sulfide after massive sulfide, 5 intercepts in a row, and that was just in the shallows. We were getting some reasonable grade and hoping to go deeper. But of course, when nickel goes from $45,000 a tonne to $15,000 a tonne, it's hard to keep moving forward with that. But we hold it on a low cost, and we know, like every commodity, it will turn and it will turn up, and we'll be ready for it then.
Okay, Allan, investors are always asking, what are the next steps for the company?
Yeah. Well, look, as I said, we row with 2 oars. We've got our brownfields future small-scale mining opportunity at London Vic, and of course, the greenfields exploration on the other 4 licenses. We're working hard to find a discovery hole there. So we'll continue to extend, expand, and upgrade the London Victoria resource. And before that, we'll do these magnetic surveys. We'll be doing some structural geology studies as well, just to really define that resource, and we'll soon be back there drilling again. Then on the other 4 licenses, we'll continue that work. There are 11 prospect areas, and that number is growing. We'll continue with more rock chip sampling, grid-based geochem surveys, geophysics surveys, and then some near-term drilling. So we'll be absolutely pregnant with news flow with all these key catalysts forthcoming.
Very busy times, Allan. Thank you for updating investors today. We hope to see you back again soon.
Yeah, thank you. Look forward to updating investors and seeing you again soon, John. Thanks.